Hey there, my button-mashing brawlers and comic book crusaders. Today we're diving into the pixelated pandemonium that is Marvel vs. Capcom. This isn't just any old Clash of Titans. It's where Wolverine can dropkick Ryu into next Tuesday, and Spider-Man can web-sling Zangief into the stratosphere. If you've ever wondered how a game featuring a lawyer who fights with legal documents and a plant-eating cosmic entity ended up in the same arcade cabinet, stick around. We're unpacking the quirky chaos and the behind-the-scenes brinkmanship that brought this arcade anomaly to life. Let's start back before this epic fighter was even a twinkle in the developer's eye. Imagine a world where superheroes meet arcade cabinets, and you've got a room full of developers at Capcom deciding, yes, let's make Spider-Man and Ryu fight. Not just for fun, but because the gaming world absolutely needs this. This gaming cocktail was mixed during the time when arcade games were all about one-upping each other with the flashiest characters and craziest mechanics. The development team, led by the imaginative Noritaki Funamizu, who previously worked on other Capcom titles like Street Fighter, took on this project not only with a passion for innovation, but also with a business strategy to blend two universes that were individually successful. The collaboration between Capcom and Marvel wasn't just a handshake and a smile. It involved painstaking negotiations and carefully handling of characters' rights. Marvel, protective of its characters, and Capcom, eager to push the envelope on gameplay mechanics, often had creative tug-of-wars. Each character from the Marvel Universe had to be approved by Marvel, who ensured they were portrayed in a way that styled true to their comic book origins. Yes, even when pitted against characters from a completely different cultural background. What truly stands out in the development phase were the technical challenges. Capcom's team had to work with limited hardware capabilities of the time, which meant creating fluid animations and character interactions that seemed almost too good for the available tech. This challenge led to some ingenious coding and design shortcuts, including recycling and modifying some animations from earlier Capcom games, a clever move that kept the development on track and under budget. But in the world of fighting games, the storyline often takes the backseat to the action, and in Marvel vs. Capcom, it's more of a scooter trailing behind a speeding car. The plot here, if we dare call it that, serves as a thin excuse to bring together a wild assortment of characters from disparate universes for no reason other than, well, it's fun to watch them duke it out. Let's be real, the storyline in Marvel vs. Capcom is about as deep as a kiddie pool. It essentially boils down to heroes and villains from the Marvel Universe teaming up with fighters from Capcom storied franchises to stop a greater evil. This evil usually involves some form of world domination or universe-threatening peril, standard comic book fare, with the volume turned up to 11. Now, on to the characters, the real stars of the show. The game features a roster that reads like a who's who of comic and video game worlds. From Marvel, you've got icons like Captain America, wielding his indestructible shield with the same ease as one might wear a wristwatch. Spider-Man, slinging webs with a quip for every occasion, and Wolverine, who's already got to go berserker with his adamantium claws. On the Capcom side, you pull from a deep well of fan favorites. Ryu, from the Street Fighter series, brings his disciplined martial arts prowess to the fight. Mega Man enters the fray with his arm cannon, blasting away enemies with a stoic determination. And then there's Morrigan, from Darkstalkers, a succubus who is as charming as she is deadly, fluttering about the battlefield with a mischievous grin. Each character brings their own unique abilities and fighting styles to the table, creating a dynamic and visual spectacle mashup. The interactions between characters from such different backgrounds offer not only a variety of combat strategies, but also a buffet of visual delights and comedic juxtaposition. Imagine Spider-Man, known for his skyscraper-high acrobatics, facing off against Street Fighter's Chun-Li with her lightning-fast kicks. Comics and arcade lore colliding in every match. The beauty of Marvel vs. Capcom's characters ensemble isn't just their diverse abilities or iconic statuses, but in how these attributes translates into the gameplay. Each character's moves and combos reflect their personalities and powers from their respective universes, making every match feel like a live-action comic book or an interactive anime episode. Now, if you thought the cast of Marvel vs. Capcom was a wild mashup, wait until you get a load of these gameplay mechanics. This game takes the term combo chaos chaos and cranks it up to 11, blending the distinct fighting styles of two very different universes into a frantic dance of punches, kicks, and yes, even hyper beams. The core of Marvel vs. Capcom's gameplay is its tag team fighting, allowing players to choose two characters to bring to the battle. This isn't just for show. Swapping characters mid-fight allows for strategic depth and can create the tide of a battle in the blink of an eye, or the press of a button. Each character has their own set of moves, and mastering these is akin to learning a complex dance routine while someone throws bricks at you. Now, just as Spider-Man cleverly webs up his foes, let me cleverly snag a moment of your time to say, if you're enjoying this high-flying dive into gaming history, why not smash that like button and subscribe? It's quicker than a Hadouken and ensures you won't miss out on our next arcade adventure. Now back to the mechanics. What truly sets Marvel vs. Capcom apart is the introduction of the variable cross attack, a feature that lets both of your chosen heroes unleash their special moves simultaneously. The result? A spectacle of chaos that feels like every 4th of July fireworks show you've ever seen, all going off at once. Furthermore, the game innovates with its assist system, where a third character can jump in and deliver a quick attack before leaping off the screen again. This isn't just a flashy extra, it's an in-game changer that adds a layer to the strategy, requiring players to think on their feet and anticipate their opponent's next move. The balancing of the game, however, can be a hot topic, with such a varied roster. Ensuring each character's powers neither overshadow nor underwhelm is as tricky as trying to convince Wolverine to go in for a manicure. Some characters naturally rise to the top in terms of usability and power, creating a metagame that can be both a playground for strategic minds and a minefield for newcomers. But Marvel vs. Capcom didn't just smash buttons, it smashed expectations. When the arcade cabinets first lit up, nobody quite anticipated the seismic impact it would have, not just on sales, but on pop culture itself. First, the numbers. Marvel vs. Capcom soared in arcades, becoming a favorite not only because it was fun, but because it was a visual spectacle that drew crowds. Players would line up quarters along the screens, marking their spot in line to challenge the reigning champ. As it transitioned to home consoles, its success continued to grow, proving that the game wasn't just a flash in the pan, but a fixture in the gaming community. But the sales figures only tell half the story. The impact of Marvel vs. Capcom was, arguably, its real superpower. The game bridged two fandoms, comic book lovers and arcade enthusiasts, creating a melting pot of fans who might not have otherwise crossed paths. This crossover appeal wasn't just good for laughs and competitive banter, it sparked discussions, fan theories, and debates that poured over from arcades into online forums, and eventually into mainstream gaming culture. The game also had a noticeable effect on the competitive fighting game scene. Tournaments began to feature Marvel vs. Capcom as a staple, attracting players who specialized in its high-octane gameplay. These events helped to elevate the profile of esports within the broader public consciousness, paving the way for esports industry for its explosive growth. Alright, you savvy gamers and comic buffs, it's time to test your knowledge with some of Marvel vs. Capcom's trivia. Grab your arcade sticks and see if you can guess these little-known facts about the classic fighter. Let's see who's been paying attention and who's been just button mashing. First up, which Marvel vs. Capcom character was famously known for being able to execute a one-touch kill, a combo that could defeat an opponent without giving them a chance to react? That would be Iron Man. His infamous infinite combo could wipe out an opponent's character in one uninterrupted sequence, showcasing the kind of balance issues that made every match a heart-racing gamble. Next up, in Marvel vs. Capcom, there's a hidden character that originally appeared as a joke among the development team. Can you name this character who later became a fan favorite? The character is none other than Norimaru. Exclusive to the Japanese version of the game, Norimaru is a quirky, nerdy character designed and voiced by Japanese comedian Noritaki Kanashi. He was a humorous addition who wielded a camera and other school-related items as weapons. And there you have it, folks. Marvel vs. Capcom, where the most sensible thing is the senseless, and the only real strategy is chaos management. If you ever find yourself questioning the logic of a planet-eating giant squaring off against a karate master, just remember, in the world of video games, the crazier, the better. Until next time, keep your friends close, but your arcade enemies closer. If you enjoyed looking back into the history of Marvel vs. Capcom, click this video here to see more from the Retro Reload. And as always, thank you for watching.